Today we have got great news, ladies and gentlemen. If you value the work we do in restoring spirituality through research and meaningful messages via this YouTube channel, we are inviting you to become a dedicated member. You are now able to join our YouTube membership. Click the join button above and become a member today. Your support empowers our team to continue creating and sharing, as well as researching content that truly uplifts and inspires us all. Let there be no ambiguity. Jesus of Nazareth was not the Messiah. To the contrary, he did not fulfill that criteria. He did not meet the prophetic standard. He was not recognized by religious authorities of his time. He is not mentioned once in the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible. And his genealogy is full of myths. This is not a matter of faith. It is a matter of text, history, and logic, the three pillars upon which all truth must stand. Yet billions swear that Jesus was the Messiah. Is there undeniable proof Jesus was the Messiah? If Jesus lived, unfortunately he didn't. However, according to the book that Christians believe in, which was written, crafted, and given to them by the Catholics, Jesus was a Jew. He lived as a Jew. He died as a Jew, celebrating Passover, observing the Torah, buried according to Jewish law. But let us be clear. Being Jewish does not mean one is a Messiah. And Jesus, he had no office, no title, no authority in Judaism. He was not a rabbi. He was not a priest. A rabbi is a married person anyway. He was not anointed by any legitimate religious body. He was not recognized by the Sanhedrin. He was not proclaimed by the prophets. He was not even mentioned in the entire book of the Tanakh. Let that sink in. The Tanakh is a record with over 24 books written over a span of 1,000 years. Its details do not and does not and has never had anything to do with a Jesus or a Messiah of the nature of Jesus. If the Messiah were the most pivotal figure in human history according to Christianity and the Savior of the world, the Son of God, would he not be explicitly named, clearly foretold, and divinely appointed and anointed in the very scriptures that set the stage for his arrival? Of course, he would, but he is not. And that silence is deafening. Why do billions swear he was, with others claiming even have seen him? The story begins in Africa with the Greek Emperor Ptolemy asking African priests to anoint and make a tokolosh or a golem for them. And that's where the story begins. I have seen and have interacted with the Christians who argue against this. But let us jump 700 years down the line, across the ages, to Emperor Constantine, long after the so-called death of Jesus, who never lived, was convened. A council in which, in the 4th century, it was there to organize and create Christianity as a legal religion. It was not God or Jesus or his disciples, but it was this man, Constantine, in the year 325 in June, who changed the nature of a Jesus that never lived and made him homousios, meaning one substance with the Father. Bishops who opposed this were thrown out, like Dr. Arias, an African who opposed homousios doctrine. He knew that Jesus was a created creature, though divine, as he said, but was not of the same substance or essence as God, but rather a created creature. It is clear to any reasonable person that the Council of Nicaea invented Christianity. That Christianity was not founded by Jesus or by anything else other than an invention of Greco-Romans in the year 325 AD. Constantine, who was a sun worshipper, a murderer of his own family, and a political opportunist, convened this council to unify the fracturing Roman Empire under a single state-sanctioned religion. There were no rabbis, there were no Jewish scholars, no custodians of the Tanakh, only Greek-speaking bishops. many of whom had never seen a Hebrew scroll, let alone understood the nuances of Peshat, plain meaning, or Midrash. They rewrote history. They reinterpreted prophecy. They falsified chronology. Scholars such as Rabbi David Ben Beger, Rabbi Aryeh Kaplan, and Professor Lawrence Schiffman have demonstrated conclusively that the New Testament's use of the Tanakh is rife with mistranslations, which are out of context citations and deliberate distortions. Let's give some examples. If you go to Isaiah 7:14, where you are told that a virgin will give birth, the original word was Alma, which means a young woman. And the Greeks Septuagint put the word Parthenos, a mistranslation deliberately put in to exploit and to claim a virgin birth. But in the Hebrew, Alma does not mean virgin. It means a young woman of marriageable age. And the prophecy was fulfilled in the 8th century BCE during the reign of King Ahaz. Read that chapter 800 years before that story of Jesus was even given. And when they give the name as El or Emmanuel, it is El, their God. They worship, not the real and noble creator. This is a fact. All these words you used to see, El Shaddai, El Roy, El Elyon, Hallelujah, Elohe, Israel, Eli Laba Sabachthani. That's a Canaanite deity. Therefore, the spirit of this Canaanite deity dominates anybody who uses this word. What about the Torah? What does it really say concerning the Messiah? According to unanimous Jewish traditions, the Moshiach must be a full human being, not divine, not part of Trinity, not begotten of God, because the God El that they speak of said he is not a man. But we know, of course, that he appears as a man, so he is a spirit being. And when in Numbers 23:19 it says God is not a man who dies, or a son of man who changes his mind, does he speak and not act, or promise and not fulfill? That statement is speaking of a deity. A deity, we have said, imondoro. So once a person has become a mondoro, they cannot die. When it comes to the idea of the Son of God in the Tanakh, and when it comes to the Davidic throne, through which the Messiah comes, Christians deny that Joseph was Jesus' father. Yet we know that the Messiah was supposed to sit on the throne of David. Your house and your kingdom shall be established forever. That was the promise, the Davidic promise given by God. And he said, your throne shall be established forever. 2 Samuel 7:16, which means the lineage of the Messiah is the son of David, not the son of a virgin. So billions think there is proof Jesus was the Messiah. We have given you exact opposite, that he was not. In the book of Daniel, particularly its apocalyptic visions, we see most devastating scriptural rebuttals to the Christian claim that Jesus is the Messiah. When examined with linguistic precision, historical context, and theological fidelity, the prophecy of the stone cut without hands in Daniel 2 and Daniel 7 not only refutes the idea that Jesus fulfilled Messianic expectations, but dismantles the entire Christian doctrine of the second coming as a post hoc invention to explain a failed prophecy. The word dan from the Hebrews, the word din, mean to judge, or he judged. El is a common short form of God in Hebrew, meaning God, but borrowed from the Canaanite deity of the same name. So we are not dealing with the unknowable real creator here. We are dealing with deities competing for the attention of human beings. The stone cut without hands in the book of Daniel is a blow and a detonator to the two comings of the Messiah, which are just a myth. This verse is catastrophic for Christian narrative. Let's show how. And in the days of those kings shall the God of heaven, El, set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, nor shall the sovereign thereof be left to another people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and they shall stand forever. Jesus never established that. Jesus was nowhere near that, because Jesus never lived. Messiah established a theocratic kingdom that destroys all earthly powers when he comes. He is not killed or defeated. There will be no other civilization. There will be no debates, no church, no preachers, no prophets, no other religion, according to Daniel 2. Nebuchadnezzar was told that he is the head is gold, the chest was the Medes, the belly was Persia, the legs and iron were Greece, as well as clay, Rome and its fragments. And then it says, and during that time, the stone came, cut without hands, Nigzalo Beaidaim, and removed everything. Let there be no ambiguity. Jesus of Nazareth was not the Messiah. He failed. All this, yet billions think he is. Billions are deceived, because this stone struck the image when it came. It didn't come twice. First to fail, and then second to come again and struck this. No. The Messiah comes once as a victor, not a victim. Christianity invented the two coming theory to explain why Jesus didn't fulfill these prophecies, especially Daniel's prophecy, and many others, like sitting on the throne of David, which Jesus didn't do, or fulfilling the Davidic covenant, which Jesus didn't do, because the Davidic covenant says David's house and his kingdom will endure forever before God, and his throne will be established forever. Jesus never sat on that throne. There is nowhere in the Tanakh where we are taught that first he should come humbly, to suffer, to die, and to save. So all the interpretations that say that are apologetic are lies. We are told that when he comes, he will be glorious, and he will judge, and he will conquer, and he will rule. Daniel says that. Isaiah says that. Zechariah says that. So the Moshiach comes once and fulfills everything once. The Messiah will come and bring worldwide eternal peace. Read Isaiah 11 verse 1 to 10. Let us consider Daniel 7, where we are taught definitely that in the eschatology that was established, that the Messiah comes in the clouds, not crawling out of a tomb. He is presented before God, not crucified by Rome. He is given dominion, glory, and kingdom, not mocked with a crown of thorns. That all nations serve him, and not just a few converted Gentiles. That his kingdom is everlasting, and that it will happen during the time of this civilization. Yet Jesus died. His movement was marginal. His kingdom was invisible, spiritual, and deferred. But Daniel's kingdom is visible, geopolitical, and immediate. There is no room for spiritual fulfillment. The text demands historical realization. So, in summary, where did this idea of the Messiah come from? We have come to the juicy part now. Is there undeniable proof Jesus was the Messiah? Yes, there's a lot of proof. Let us say this. There is a mystery hidden in human's deepest longing, the enduring fascination with the Messiah, and the reason why people look to the Messiah. Beneath this doctrine lies a profound yearning, not just for salvation, but for meaning, transformation, and mental liberation. This isn't about religion or spirituality. This is about awakening. This is about understanding theocracy. This is about understanding what the Messiah is. A word that originated in ancient Hamite Mesa, signifying the ritual anointing of rulers with the fate of crocodiles. You are your own Messiah. This is a mystery. Dive deeper, if you want, into the patterns, the symbols, and the threads of consciousness that shape our reality, and how you can escape the soul trap that has captured billions across ages using Messianic pretense and using the universe. Click to join our channel and to unlock in-depth explorations that challenge, inspire, and expand your understanding of myths, of mind, and the Messianic impulse within all of us. The journey begins where dogma ends. Subscribe today for your next breakthrough awaits. For more, your Manager Topi says, keep watching this channel. Thank you. Have a great day. You are your own Messiah, but you need the keys to know and to unlock that kingdom which is within you. Amen.